Ed, you guys, I've known you guys for a while, Surge Learning, and I know Tulia, and you've been in the industry for a while, but how long have you been with Surge?
So interestingly enough, I came across from Skillsoft and Global Knowledge about 2 months ago.
Okay.
So I'm new to the healthcare space, learning a lot about it. We're doing a lot of exciting things at Surge and launching new platforms. So there's a lot going on. So it's a good time to be here.
Nice. So is this your first show though? Then I guess
it is.
Yeah.
It is the first one. Apparently the biggest one. But yes, the first one.
Yes, it is. This is always the biggest one. It used to be downtown, but now they brought it to the airport. It's a little easier to access, but maybe not as much fun, I guess.
Sure, I guess that's the trade-off, but I think the access is more critical.
That's true. So now you said you were in a different industry. What was the industry you were in before?
I was in the training industry, but I wasn't focused on healthcare. So when I ran Global Knowledge Canada, we were doing high-tech training, so cyber, cloud-based training, instructor-led. Then we went to virtual after COVID, and then we were acquired by Skillsoft. So then we did all their high-tech stuff, and then Skillsoft did leadership and business training and things like that. And I was running North America for them, so I was on the high-tech part of it. It was great.
Nice.
And I did that for a while, and then was helping a company out of India that was trying to develop a platform in North America. Did that for about a year, and that sort of didn't have the investment dollars that they needed to do what they wanted. And so then I parted ways with them, and then Surge contacted me, and that's how I ended up here.
Excellent. And so what do you like about the Surge product and offering? Like, what's the thing that attracts you to their offering?
Yeah, so outside of having a wonderful brand recognition, we have about 75% of the Ontario marketplace, which is tremendous, big market. We're growing in the West, we're growing in the East. What I love is we've got an integrated platform that takes your learning management system along with your policy professional capabilities to upload all your policies and manage them through our LMS, and all of our quality response, our QRM system. And the policy professional and the QRM are coming onto our new platform over the next sort of 6 months. We're migrating people on the LMS, but having this integrated platform I think is really important for organizations versus having an LMS, somebody else doing QRM, somebody else doing policies, and then trying to integrate all of that. So I think that's a huge advantage we have.
And so what's the focus of the learning? What's the subject matter mainly that you're focusing on?
It's compliance. So we're focused on the compliance of, as you know, in Ontario, there's strict regulations. You have to follow rules. So we have all of that. When you go to the other provinces, they have rules too, but there's less. It's not as stringent as Ontario is. So we do create our own content to help organizations if they need that. So we have a content creation team, and then we obviously upload all the requirements that are government driven in all the provinces, and that's in our LMS. So it's really compliance.
Okay, excellent. So what's been your strategy? I know you're new, but what do you think is going to be your strategy from going out to get new people out there, out west, out east, outside of Ontario? What is the business strategy?
Okay, I don't want to give away too much here, but clearly we want to obviously have the kind of market share that we have in Ontario in all the provinces. Some of them have stricter guidelines, or they have relationships with government agencies that make it a little trickier. But in general, we see rural hospitals, long-term care facilities in provinces like BC and Alberta, in Manitoba, all of the East Coast. I'm toying with the idea of focusing a little bit more on the Quebec marketplace, but there are challenges there too, because the Quebec government provides free compliance training for publicly funded organizations. Private, though, they don't. But again, majority are public, so your market is a little bit smaller. So and then you've got all the French content you've got to create. So there are challenges built into that, but that's really the focus, and you'll see us expanding west and east quite aggressively.
Okay, and is there any plans of going south of the border at all, or?
So we have talked about that. We looked at states like Ohio, Pennsylvania, kind of blue states that are healthcare focused states, have large healthcare organizations. Again, the challenge there is just creating the content. Content's expensive to create, and you have to have all of it. And each state in the U.S. is different. You can take some generic content that goes across Canada, outside of Quebec, let's say with the French, but across Canada, when you get into the U.S., each state is very unique in what their content is. So you're really developing, like you're developing something for Canada, you're developing it for Ohio. But then when you go to Pennsylvania, you're not taking that. You're starting all over again in Pennsylvania. So there are challenges built in. The cost to develop that is quite high.
And what is the process for building that? Like, how did you do it in Ontario? I mean, through time and obviously research and interaction. But what is the process of creating that content for you guys?
Right. So you've got to you work with the government agencies. Everybody has healthcare agencies, whether you're U.S. or Canada. Every province, like Ontario, has theirs. They create their own content that they want. These are mandatory. So then they go to people like us and say, okay, upload this. This is something that everybody has to do. So we facilitate that. That's the compliance piece. The next piece is, okay, now if you want to create content, now I've got to work with the government agency to create something. So we have a back and forth on what needs to go into the content. That's how we formulate it. And then once we get their blessing, then we go live with it.
Wow, so you have the hardest job dealing with government agencies and waiting for responses back.
It can be challenging, yes.
Yeah. And that's why it makes your product so unique too, because you've done the work and it's hard to get that information, so you've put it all in one place and now people can get it easier.
Exactly, and I think that's a big advantage. As I said, you've got integrated platforms that cover everything that you would want in the compliance space. You have content development teams that can help you customize if you want to add it, or if you want to create new policies, or if you want to create audits, we can help you do that so you can get going. All of that is housed in one LMS and one platform, and I think that's a big advantage.
Amazing. So now, where can people find you, and where should they go to get more information?
surgelearning.ca, so www.surgelearning.ca, and certainly you can reach out to someone like me. It's edward@surgelearning.ca. We would love to talk to anyone who either has our platform and wants to grow with it and do other things like QRM and policy, or anyone new that is interested to find out more. But certainly go to our website and all that information is there.
Awesome. Well, like I mentioned, I think we should do this again on a full-length feature, and we talk a little bit more about Surge and the partnerships that you have and so on. So
that would be great.
Good luck in the new role, and look forward to talking again.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care.
Okay.